What's up, everybody? We're back with more Nova Drift.
Yeah.
Today, we've had a request for a build by a man named William Adams. He asked me if I can do a railgun plus siege engine hull regen build. So, I've been tinkering around with this build for the last week. Seeing what I can do with it, if it was viable, how could I improve it. And to give you an idea of how well I've got it to work, these are my two best scores that I've gotten this build using this strategy. So yes, it's very viable.
Just with a slightly different setup than...
Yeah, I had made a couple of small changes to what he suggested, and I'll go over them
as they come up.
Yeah. So, but obviously...
For now, you start with just pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, we start with the basic bare necessities. And there's nothing I want in this opening thing.
You got 12 rerolls. Oh, you got an amp.
I can start with amp. I'll just get it early.
Sure, why not?
Okay, here's the first thing. He suggested using an assault or sentinel body, perhaps. I used the stealth body because of... heat shielding provides minus 25% self-damage taken.
It is a little weird because most of the other stuff is not used at all.
But yeah, this build will hurt your face a lot. So being able to reduce that by 25% baseline is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention, you thrusters do damage and stuff, and you can stealth. All of that inconsequential. I just like the damage reduction. So, we'll get that going.
Well, okay, just kind of flew right through you.
Yeah. Alright, we'll get magnitude, just because most builds I do have that, because it's just good.
It's just more damage.
Alright. But we're still missing some key pieces here.
Mostly the railgun.
That is probably the most important bit. But in the meantime, we'll get payload, more weapon damage. See, this is the nice thing about playing on expert mode. If you play on normal mode, it forces you to pick a weapon, and then it forces you to pick a body, and then it forces you to pick a shield. But sometimes I don't want them until, like, later. Alright.
Otherwise, you're going to have to burn a lot of rerolls. Oh, jeez, I hate those guys.
That's why I dodged them. I'm just going to bully him away. Yeah. But unfortunately, I have a garbage weapon.
Yeah. You want to reroll trying to go for it, or just keep taking things like velocity is necessary?
Yeah. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Railgun. Alright, we'll take out some of these guys just for that extra experience before it goes away.
Yep. Every point counts.
Okay, so now we're just a little railgun. It does okay damage, but this is nothing compared to what we'll get used to.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah,
Pop.
finish him before he shoots his next shot off. I'll get sniped for now.
Good.
So, the railgun is very high single shot damage. And
we're going to ignore that eventually.
Well, we're not going to. We're going to elevate it. But an aspect of the railgun is the higher its velocity, the more damage it does. So we're going to do a couple of things that are going to seem counterintuitive until the build, completes itself. Because we're going to get some stuff that you'd be like, well, why are you taking that? But they're necessary to do stuff in the future.
You gotta... one of those, spend money to make money. In this case, it's you have to nerf yourself to boost yourself.
So we're going to get homing shots.
So basic targeting isn't so bad.
Let's see. I could get a couple of these other things, but...
You have so many rerolls.
Well, rerolls can be important later, because when you're really struggling to find the stuff that you want.
True.
Splinter shot is nice, just because since you're shooting single shot stuff,
True.
The fact that your bolts, which do a lot of damage, splinter, means that you can cover more area.
That's fair.
And we're gonna get rate of fire because we want to shoot faster. And trust me, that's going to be significant later. So just keep
I'm just gonna vivisect these
blowing
guys.
these guys up.
Just bump that guy.
Bump in the face because I don't care. I got him.
That's impressive, honestly. There's more
all
targeting.
right. So we get a couple of little extra homing shots that are much weaker, but they're just little extra shots for free. They don't detract from the damage of our main shot. They're just extra.
This build is very extra.
There's a lot of stuff in this build that's extra. We can grab this now, even though it's a little early. Adaptive armor is just when you take hits, you get damage resistance for a period of time.
It's a nice little defensive talent. Not the craziest thing in the world, but later on, you will get hit a lot, so it actually helps.
Yeah, but even then, that's not why we take it. We take it for the final talent that we'll get later.
Yep, because there's a lot of talents that are buried under other talents.
Yes. There are talents that we get specifically just to get other talents. Like, we don't even care about the initial talent. Shield guys, which Railgun usually doesn't care about because Railgun just pierces through life
Which
itself.
is gnarly.
Okay. So Convergence gives us 2 extra projectiles. It lowers our velocity and rate of fire and projectile size, but it doesn't lower projectile damage, which is what Volley does. Volley gives you extra shots, but it reduces your weapon damage. This gives you extra shots, doesn't reduce weapon damage, and it increases homing.
Well, it doesn't reduce weapon damage, but it does reduce your velocity, which does reduce...
For Railgun, reduces damage slightly, yes. But the 2 extra shots mean that if you hit with all of them, it's going to do significantly more damage.
True. Which is why Convergence is usually still a really good option, no matter which build you're using.
Alright, so... we'll go in this direction first. Because there's a lot of... I see 3 necessary talents on this board here. We're going to get Guidance first. Now, Guidance is one of the sad necessary things that we need to get. Because we already have the bottom talent, Convergence. So you're like, well, why do you need to get Guidance? Guidance reduces your total velocity by 20% and reduces your rate of fire while giving homing. It's bad, and normally I wouldn't take it, except... it is a necessary talent to take for the super mod that I'm going to get later, which allows me to do screen wrapping shots. So,
Which is super, super helpful for this build.
Yes.
And it's a helpful thing in general, but...
because it will guarantee that all of these rail shots hit the target every time, because if it misses, it's just going to do another pass. So, guys like this take me a little while now.
For now.
But eventually, they won't. So, of course I hit him out of the way of the comet.
Of course.
Just die. You're holding up my run.
There we go.
Okay.
Hey, look.
Super mod Warp Strike, but it can wait because I always get mastery when it shows up. That's just trick of the trade. That just makes your damage higher. It makes your rate of fire higher. It makes
your ship better.
Yeah, it makes all of your offensive capabilities grander. Okay, so out of these choices, again, there's a lot that I'm going to want to take in the long run. Regeneration will be very important eventually. But we're going to get Warpath now.
Important.
For every enemy I kill, my rate of fire will improve for a period of time. And not only is that a good talent in and of itself, particularly when you're fighting a bunch of little stuff, but it's a precursor to the talent that this game is, or this build is made for. So we're just gonna sit inside this boss.
Pop those.
Yeah. Pop his pustules. There's Robo-Pustules. Oh, and this guy's just gonna
Coming
show
right in
up
front of you.
inside here and give me a nice boost, give me a level.
Armor is always helpful.
Yeah, I'm debating. I'm gonna reroll.
Okay.
I'm getting close to where I'm going to need to heal. So, initially, the first time I made this build, I went regeneration, and then from regeneration, you can get rapid reconstruction, which greatly improves your regeneration rate, but you have no shield. I thought that was the way to go with this build. I was wrong.
Very much so.
So we're going to get Skirmish, which this talent is pointless. All of the other talents in the tree we can use, but Skirmish is just like, after you fire your weapon, you get extra crash damage, which we don't do. And after we hit a target with crash damage, our next weapon attack does extra damage, which we try not to crash into things. So, that's poor. I won't go into what the next two talents do, but we're going for Essence Sap, which is when you damage a target, recover a portion of your health strength over time. It is very good.
It is stupid good.
So,
did you just bump his face just so that you could get extra weapon damage?
I mean, we have the talent.
I'm going to pretend you did that on purpose because...
Why do you have to pretend I did it on purpose?
Okay,
so siege weaponry is what we're here for.
Do you have the safety for siege weaponry yet?
Not yet. I will hold off on siege weaponry for now.
Rebuke seems to have shown up a lot.
I mean, it's good. I'm just debating if I want to get that or that first. I'll get that because I want the final talent for this.
Bonk.
Yeah, they came in like a wrecking ball.
It's like, once we hit siege weaponry, things get nuts. But you have to be defensively prepared for it before you take siege weaponry.
Because it's very strong, but it will also...
shred your hull.
It's so strong it will kill you too.
So you need to have your armor and regen ready for it. Oh, that's not a...
Reroll that.
And regen.
Yeah, I can regen. Where's my warp strike again? Like it
doesn't seem to be showing back. I'm sure it'll be here eventually.
Fine. I'll get terminate. Because I want to get Essence Sap as soon as I can. That's acceptable.
Yep.
But I do want warp strike.
Terminate in and of itself kills enemies automatically if they're at low health.
Yes, if they're at 15% or lower, they just die, and it gives me a little bit of was it weapon damage, that one, or was that one the rate of fire? One gives
remember.
+5 weapon damage, and one gives +5 rate of fire. Either way, it's just a nice little bonus.
Again, we're mostly getting it so that we can get Essence Sap. Because Essence Sap makes this build viable.
Yeah. But that said, those two talents are very good. One of them just does more damage. Ah, there's Essence Sap. There it is. Core shielding is something I also want because it's another 25% self-damage resistance, so I take half damage from myself.
Yeah.
But Essence Sap is whenever you damage an enemy, you recover 2% of your damage as hull strength over 0.25 seconds. It can stack up to 10 times, but your hull strength does not cannot regenerate on its own.
Oh, so does that make regeneration useless then? The talent?
The base talent, yes.
But again, you get it for...
deeper talents, there are useful talents. So, it's not a priority pick anymore, but I oftentimes get it because stuff deeper in the tree is good.
Okay. That was much easier the second time around for that guy.
Yeah, but it's still... We're still nowhere near the potential of this build.
It's true.
That is one thing about this build, is you have to be very patient and you have to build it very particularly.
Yeah, because it is eventually going to do a ton of self-damage. So
you have to be prepared.
Yeah. So you need to basically...
If you try to do the big boy damage too early, you're just going to kill yourself.
Right, there's your warp
There's
strike.
my warp strike. Okay, so now I can just shoot and then it'll go off the screen and all around, and I can... me aiming at things in particular is less important.
Yeah. Aiming is no longer...
Well, aiming for this build is still important, but what I'll do is I will aim by, wrapping the screen, knowing how it's going to go. Like, for example, he's about to do his beam energy thing, so I'm just going to start shooting across the screen that way.
Yep.
Just to get extra damage in.
Now, he looks like he's going to pop a singularity before you kill him this time.
Very likely, yes.
Because, again, this build will eventually do a ton of damage, but you have to build the defenses first.
Keep in mind, just remember how long it takes me to kill this guy this time around. Because I guarantee you, by the next time we see him, assuming we get everything that we need, he will die drastically faster. He's about to die anyway, because he's getting close to that magical 15%. And there he goes.
That's true. The 15% does also count on bosses, which
yes.
is very, very helpful. Bosses and juggernauts in particular are very nice to have that.
Alright, here's the other one. Enemies at full health take plus 20% damage from weapon hits and stuff, and just extra weapon damage.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. So I start a fight stronger, and I end a fight stronger.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're just about ready for Siege Engine, if I get it again. We have at least enough of the groundwork where we can get that rolling. So.
There's those jerks.
Yeah, he's just the lesser dumb version.
I still don't like him.
There he goes. Let's see if we can go for it. We'll get course shielding first, I guess.
Get it while it's there.
We now officially have all of the defensive talents we need. I said next time we'd fight him, but I didn't expect to fight him again immediately before I got the talent. So I lied. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because this is actually going to be pretty close to the same speed.
Because we didn't get anything.
Well, you did get your first hit did extra damage.
Yes.
And you do have 5% extra damage.
So it might go slightly faster,
yeah.
maybe.
But you did not get the...
Just get it.
Just kind of shove him out of the way. Just, don't let him singularity. Oh, you did get him before the singularity went off.
So that was why I went in. Just like, I'll definitely beat him sooner.
It's still scary.
Why are you always so scared, James?
Well, because I'm not so good at this game. My reflexes are not as good.
This game is less about reflexes and more about just careful planning.
Yeah, I don't careful plan.
Okay, come on now. Where are you? I could get that, because that's pretty good. But... really want... There, okay.
It is. Siege weaponry.
Siege weaponry.
That's the magical one.
So now, if we hold down the attack weapon, or the attack button, we could just start going absolutely nuts.
Yep. And just boom, 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 boom.
The more you hold it down, the more self-damage you do, but with Essence Sap and the fact that I only do half self-damage, I can, as long as I'm hitting things, I can pretty much just go nuts for a very long time.
Yeah.
And not worry about it.
If you watch the bottom of the screen while he's firing, you can see his hull health bar will start blinking every time he takes self-damage. And if he holds it down for a long time... Oops, there goes the shields.
Yeah, they bumped me around a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Let's get channeling. Channeling is good.
Nice and safe.
Let's see.
He's having to move around a little too much to really show it off, but...
Yeah, okay, well now we're just gonna...
so you watch his hull health, and it still clearly hurts if he holds it down too long, but...
Like I said, it all depends on if I'm hitting something.
Look at that. Look at that. His health bar barely flickers.
Until things die, and then...
And then suddenly it just goes chunk.
Well, we got our amp shield, so let's juice up our amp shield a little bit. Do a little bit more damage that way.
Yep.
See, this is also the nice thing, because the original build I had was full, just health regen, but at the cost of my shield. So not only was the health regen not as efficient as what I'm doing right now, but I didn't have a shield. So not only do I have that extra protection, but I have, with Amp Shield, I just have that much more power.
Mm-hmm. And what's nice about the Amp Shield is you can take something like the Focus Shielding, because you don't care about the radius of your shield.
No, I don't care at all. Alright, so here's the fourth boss in the game. He's very strong. He's got lots of armor. He's very strong. He's a very hard boss. He's the strongest thing you'll ever see.
He is normally pretty
and
strong.
And he's dead.
But this build just sort of doesn't care.
Yeah. Alright. I think magnetism.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of getting magnetism as early as possible.
See, regeneration won't improve my stuff at all, but I can shield. Regenerative shield is nice because it regens my shield, and then adrenal module, which is you deal more damage the more damaged you are, which is really why you would go there.
It's true.
But I'll get magnetism first.
Whoop.
Whee.
Yeah, I really like magnetism because magnetism is one of those things where it's just like, as you start getting higher and higher into things, you're moving around to avoid things, not necessarily to go pick up XP. So you kind of want the XP to come to you more, like all that XP over on the right-hand side.
Alright, so I can just lean on my attack button. I'm going to boost this way while doing so. Get on this side of the screen.
And just pop, 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 pop.
And there he goes. Last Stand is real good, because that's just...
That's, again, one of those talents where...
Get out of jail free card plus points rush at the end.
Yeah.
I don't have the newest build of this game, because I actually recently changed Last Stand. In this build, which is the older build, in Last Stand you get plus 400% XP. Well, it's actually plus 400% score.
Right.
And they change it to just plus 100% XP.
Because originally
let's actually strengthen our hull.
That's a good idea. It was basically because it was 400% score. It was basically like, if you want to have a top score in this game, you need this talent. Period. And that's any time that there is a full-on required talent, that's not fun for anyone. So they nerfed the score aspect.
There's some other things in the new build that are nerfed from this build as well. The warp strike, the one that allows me to screen wrap my shots. In this build, it's minus 10 hull strength, minus 10% shield strength. But in the new version, I believe it also is like minus 5% weapon velocity, power, and size, or something like that. Just because they wanted it less of an auto-include, because it's sort of an auto-include.
Yeah.
And it's not an auto-include in all of my builds. Last week's grenade build didn't use it because it's grenades. They don't care about screen wrapping. They just want to explode.
Yep. And if I can ever get the Celestial Lance going, obviously that doesn't need it.
Well, that doesn't need weapons sometimes, depending on how you do it.
It's true. I usually still take salvo with the Celestial Lance until you get the lance itself, which removes your weapon. But
yeah. Okay, so that's my least favorite dude in the game. But just one of him is fine. And there's a bunch of these guys, which is just free XP.
Yeah. And then you just clunk through those shields.
So maybe I should aim my shots for once.
Yeah.
Volatile shield is nice, a little bit extra shield durability, and when our shield breaks, it does a lot of damage. And we have amp shield, which is a very small shield. So
yes.
Hey, wave 100 boss.
This guy is brutal.
So this guy, you pretty much have to circle strafe him to win, which is counterintuitive for our build, because our build wants to just siege up. But you can't, because he'll get you.
Oh, that poor XP is trying so hard to get picked up by you.
Well, I knew it would get there. I knew it would get there eventually. Alright, so now he's gonna lance around for a little bit. And at this point, I can...
Oh!
That actually hurt a lot.
That took your shield down to nothing, and your hull was severely wounded.
Yeah, but with Essence Sap, I recover immediately.
It does recover very quickly.
Essence Sap is really good. It's like my new favorite talent. If only because of what it does to this build.
Yeah. This build.
He's lancing about over there somewhere.
So
I don't.
as long as you're careful, you can sit and siege up for a minute.
So just for a second, I'm just gonna go.
Oh, Juggernaut!
It's the Juggernaut, bitch. And let's lay into him.
And just here we go.
Let's go. Come on, Juggernaut. Come on, Juggernaut.
That hurt, though.
Define hurt. We'll do a little bit more burn damage. Why not?
Yeah, burn damage is always fun.
So who's hurt?
Well, you're fine now, but...
You're such a worrywart.
Yeah! Yeah! Look, when I see your shields shatter and your hull go to 20% all in a single hit, I get nervous. I know Essence Sap is good for getting your hull back, but... If you get shot, you're still dead. While the Essence Sap is trying. There we go.
So let's see how quickly we can kill this guy this time. I'm going to start screen wrapping.
What? Now you can see there that is really starting to ramp up the hull damage, the self-hull damage.
Yes.
Like those were starting to be some really big chunks.
Because the longer you hold it, the more damage you take, and it doesn't cap.
So that does eventually get very violent.
We'll get absorption.
Yep, nice and safe. Oh, that sweet magnetism. Those mines exploding everywhere.
Yeah, those juggernauts are not that big of a deal. And they just kind of shoot bullets everywhere, spin in a circle, 360 no scope. Oh, there's someone off screen somewhere. There he is. It's just things exploding off screen.
And you're getting a little bit of slowdown when there was that much stuff there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I don't want any of
You don't want Dying Star?
No. I'll take...
Force Armor is nice.
I'll take Force Armor.
I still have yet to find a use for Dying Star.
I'm built sort of for Dying Star because I have all of the self-damage reduction stuff, but I do enough damage to myself on my own. I don't need help.
Fair. I've yet to find...
But I think Essence Sap is the answer to that.
True.
Because Essence Sap is very efficient at keeping your health up. We'll just snake around, shoot these guys. Get all that XP. Hey look, it's a level 3 boss again. Just hi guy. I'm just gonna keep firing while traveling this way.
Yep, magnetism kicks in, it picks all that up.
Dodge their shots perfectly.
Oh!
Some things exploded over there, just off screen.
That is basically a lot of this build. Is something over there exploded somewhere. Oh, another one of these friends. Are there
Yep.
two of them? There's two of them.
There's two of them. There was two of them.
It was a little hard to see, but there were two of them for a second.
Yeah. Fortunately, they came on screen right as I was in the middle of a big siege moment, so I had... As long as I just kept leaning on the attack button, they were going to die quickly. And then they did. Okay, there's a lot going on here. I don't want any of this either.
2 super mods, and you're just like, eh.
20% shield durability plus 20% hull strength, I think, is what I want, because...
Yeah, Juggernaut is a good talent for this.
Yeehaw! It means I could do stuff like this more.
Yep.
So you gotta look at it like health is a resource now.
Yeah.
Alright, got this guy over here. He's gonna explode. Get another level.
Oh, that big old XP chunk in the top corner there. There you go.
Yeah. But I gotta be careful of this guy. He's got the mines. The mines suck. Oh.
We eventually got his name. What was that thing's name? Celestial or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
It's a run ender.
You know what? I'm gonna get a useless talent so that I can try
Start building
to
towards
go towards that. Let me just make sure I have everything else that I need.
Yeah, I think you do.
I think I do. So sure. Well.
Yeah, you're up to level 38, which is, generally speaking, this is really close to.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna play it carefully around mine layer guy because he's a jerk.
Freaking mine layer celestial. Yeah, none of those comments hit him.
Right.
That is not a nice friend for that boss.
We'll just go over this side and we'll siege up.
Yeah, something over there's died.
These guys are fine because they die very quickly. Oh, there's a cargo ship up there. It's always nice. I got a boost.
Always nice.
Just full on Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Boost is always nice. It's basically just like mastery on a stick. Temporarily.
Except it's better than mastery because it also improves mobility.
True.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Alright. Alright. This is usually where the game is done with you. And it's decided that you're no longer needed in this world.
It's decided that it wants to see you use up that last stand. You haven't yet, though.
No, because we're just gonna play nice. I already killed.
The
I
Celestials
killed
are both gone.
the bad men. I screen wrapped that guy before he can cause me harm, and then I killed him off screen.
You just kind of tank right through those.
Yeah, I mean, well, once they fill up so much of the screen, you're just like, all right, just pick a lane. All right, we got another level here. Regenerative shields. We'll pick that up on our way to doing more damage. Ooh, I want to not be near you. So we'll just pick a corner up here, and then we'll siege up.
Expertly dodge those.
And then we'll just grab all of that, and then...
Like how a boss just unceremoniously shows up while you're fighting other things.
He's the first boss. He's basically just a dude now.
It's true, but...
He dies in about 3 seconds. Alright, so this is where they start sending lots of stuff all the time. Don't like being near you when you do that. I'll just go over here. I got a level that I'll deal with in a second.
Yeah.
Kill all of... Okay.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna live here for a second.
There's your last stand.
That was unfortunate.
You're not dead yet, but...
I am not dead yet.
Last stand puts you in the danger zone. And there goes your shields. I mean, any hit will murder your shields now, so... And at least for now, you gotta be much, much, much more careful about the siege.
Everything's fine. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about a thing.
Oh, I'd worry about a thing.
We're just gonna get all this XP over here.
Yep. You know, I never thought about it, but does Last Stand, the talent, does that stop the rebirth from showing up in your pool?
I don't know. Oh, this is...
That could be bad.
Dangerous.
He's not laying mines, though, so he was the lesser version, which helps you out there. Rebirth is one of those weird talents that I've never used, because it's the one where it just it resets all your talents.
Yep.
Which normally it's just like, well, at this point, I'm pretty committed to this build.
Ooh, he just teleported on my face. I almost had 1 million.
Almost had 1 million.
Dang.
That was pretty good. But I wonder if you could use Rebirth after Last Stand to take your now very tiny percentage of hull and things and start bumping all those up. But it might just preclude it from showing up, so.
Well, there you go. That build works.
Yeah.
It works pretty darn well.
Almost. Would that have been your first million?
Yeah. As you can...
Well, I mean, even older builds.
If we're talking older builds, no. But the older builds are so different that it's like apples and oranges. So,
but they're both fruits. You need like apples and buses.
Yeah. So pretty darn good. It's certainly my most successful build to date. All thanks to Mr. William Adams. So thank you for the build suggestion. If anyone else has any other build suggestions, please let me know, and I'll try them out.
Yeah.
And until next time, I'll come at you with another new build.
Yeah.
Can't promise it's as successful as this one, though.
That's fair.
Bye.
Bye.